Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Offscript,
A podcast.
where we compare books to their movies.
I'm Bri with Loki in my arms.
Well, kitty. And I'm Alli.
And today we are joined. God, my brain just had a fart. I was going to say by and with right there.
What? What?
We are joined with Crystal from Must Love Books.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
We're so happy to have you. I'm excited.
I know.
I'm happy to be here. I love talking about books and watching movies. So,
Podcast for you.
Definitely.
So today we are covering The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yes.
Man,
I was not prepared. Like, I should have been prepared because it's Edgar Allan Poe, but I was not prepared.
Allie does not like horror, and I forgot to even forewarn her even a little bit. And halfway through the first episode, I was like, oh shit, Allie's watching this by herself.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just I just moved in to a brand new house and I've had worries. There's not even been any reason that I would think it's haunted, but I've had worries. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And when I moved in, there was this mirror that was shut in a door. And I was like,
Ugh.
That's weird. And it matches the rest of the aesthetics of my house. And I was like, that's a cute mirror. But I'm like, nope. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, this place is haunted. And then as I started the first episode, it started fast forwarding by itself randomly. I was like, what is happening right now?
yeah, that sounds like a haunting.
Yeah, it was not super fun. So
Really, though, honestly, you should have known. This is a Mike Flanagan project.
I know, I should have.
Haunting of Hill House, you had to have known.
Right.
Everything he does has some kind of crazy ghosts and jump scares. This one had a lot of jump scares.
It did. It was a little spooky.
But I love Mike Flanagan.
I know, it was fun.
Me too. Netflix really dropped the ball and fumbled him big time.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
But I think he has 6 projects coming to Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got a huge contract with them. I know for a fact he's doing a remake of Carrie for Amazon Prime. What else? There's another one that he's doing too that he already has on the books. The Exorcist.
You said he's doing The Exorcist? He's redoing The Exorcist?
Yeah, he's doing, I think it's some kind of, it's either a prequel series or a sequel.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. It's some kind of a spinoff. But I saw an article online a couple months ago about it. But yeah, so he's doing Carrie and he's doing The Exorcist, and he's contracted for a couple more projects after that with Amazon Prime.
I freaking love him. The Shining is my favorite Stephen King book, and the movie is a pile of shit. But his sequel, Doctor Sleep,
Yes, which was also Mike Flanagan.
the book was great. And then Mike actually did justice to it. And he also corrected wrongs from the Shining movie. And I was like, all right, I'm here for this.
Yes.
Thank you. And I also really I feel like he's the kind of director where once he likes you, he just reuses you. And so Gerald was in it from Gerald's Game, and obviously the main girl from it too.
No.
I can't remember her
My
name.
kids girl.
Yeah. And then obviously his wife is in all of his stuff.
Oh, which one's she?
She is Carolyn, the daughter who was very much into PR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the girl from Doctor Sleep was the granddaughter.
Oh, I thought I recognized her. Okay.
Yeah. And so I just love, it feels like a Mike Flanagan Easter egg hunt. Like, ooh, which ones have you been in?
I love it so much. Like, it's kind of like with the CW back in, before CW sold. It was, you could find who was in so many different shows on there, and the CW loved to recycle their actors. And I love that Mike Flanagan kind of does the same with the Flanverse or whatever you want to call it, reusing all of his actors. Like, if you're an actor and you get in good with Mike Flanagan, like, you're guaranteed
You've
work.
got a career.
Right. Like,
I love it.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay, are we ready to start?
Yeah.
All right, so we do have some trigger warnings. Lots of murder. It's pretty gruesome. It's jump scares.
It was actually way more gory than I anticipated.
Oh my gosh, it was super. I was like, oh my gosh. I think I like watched half of it through my covered eyes. I was like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. Anyways, so our synopsis. All right, so this is the synopsis for the Edgar Allan Poe like
short story, not the TV show.
It sort of matches, but sort of doesn't. So, a faithful friend, Ethan Powell, responds to an urgent summons from a childhood acquaintance. He finds himself a solitary guest in the foreboding, indestructible Usher mansion. A mysterious ailment has possessed Roderick Usher, Lord of the Manor, who has resisted all medical treatments and threatens to extinguish the line of Usher forever. I know, it sounds scary.
So scary. He's like, I remember that one scene where the cat was killed.
I know, I saw it. I was like, oh no, Bri.
I was pissed. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, I gotta go cuddle my Loki.
But anyways, I guess I'll keep going. So our author is Edgar Allan Poe, our director Mike Flanagan, and Michael Fimognari.
Fimognari.
Okay.
Is what I would say.
Okay. Screenplay writer had 8 different people because it's a TV show. And I did audiobook. You did audiobook?
Yeah, for this one I did the audiobook.
Chris Lutkin. Did you like him?
He was creepy.
He was creepy sounding. Yeah.
I also did the audiobook actually.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, I mean, so I have a big collection of all of Poe's works that's in this like big fancy cover and everything, and I love it so much. Even so, I still did the audiobook.
Same.
You had to have the vibes, and the narrator was able to hit those spooky vibes, and the audio had like lightning and stuff in the background of it, which was super cool. Like, it set the whole ambiance.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
You didn't have the music?
No, I didn't have this. It was on Libby.
There's so many different versions of it.
Oh, no, I just got a dude who was creepy sounding and was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get audio. What?
I mean, it was just music at the beginning, kind of, and trailing off at the end.
No.
But, bummer.
I did not get that one.
Oh. I know, you were the person I was waiting for. I was like, oh my gosh, I need it. And then it's like, you have to wait, but it'll be ready soon. I'm like, I need it today. And then.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, so, but anyways, okay, well, and you liked yours too. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all right. And so, what did you do first?
I read it first.
I watched it first.
I read it first.
Nice.
Well, I should say I reread it first. So I have been a huge Poe fan since I was like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And even to the point where like, so in 6th grade, I want to say it was, we had a unit on Poe, and we had to like make some kind of board game or something. Something that we could all play as like a trivia kind of game. So like all the students could go around the room and play our different games as ways to learn facts about the books and Poe's life. And I made a board game of Monopoly.
Oh, how cute.
Yes.
And it was my favorite school project for like years. And I've just been a huge fan ever since.
That's awesome. What a fun project.
I I also absolutely love and adore Poe. And I was always in all the honors classes in school. And so we always covered something of his. And I remember it was in high school, I think. And we had to memorize a monologue from Edgar Allan Poe. And I chose Annabelle Lee. So then when the show started, I was like, I could say all of this. It was amazing. But yeah, I didn't get to make a fun board game. I just had to memorize his freaking poems.
The only one I've ever read was the Raven one.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's his most popular
one.
Yeah.
I know that Poe is like creepy and like dark and all that.
No. But, oh, my favorite part of the show. Now I'm basically just jumping into our let's talk about the show. But my favorite part of the show was all of the Poe Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, that's what all my fun facts are.
And I love that each kid died by a way of one of his poems, and I was like, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, so if you've only read The Raven, you actually really missed a lot.
Yeah, in the show.
And everything in the show, because this is not just the fall of the House of Usher. Each episode is based on a different Poe story, which going into it, I didn't realize.
Same.
And I love that. So every single of those episode titles is another title of one of his books or one of his short stories, I should say.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was.
So you actually have to go through and read a lot of other ones now too.
Yeah, apparently.
I think halfway through the TV show, I realized, I was like, I don't think Allie even realizes that all of these are Edgar.
I realized the Raven. So I was like, that's an Edgar Allan Poe thing. And then I did all my fun facts, and every fun fact was like, this is an Easter egg. This is an Easter egg. I was like, oh, how cool is that?
How do you not know the Telltale Heart?
No, I don't know that.
It's the one where the heart is beating under the freaking floorboards.
No. Oh. No, I only know the Raven.
So that
okay. Well, our next question is, what are our initial thoughts of just the story, the show, the book, just Edgar Allan Poe? What are we thinking?
So the show, I already had high expectations on the show because it is Mike Flanagan, and I like pretty much almost everything he does. So I figured it was still going to be entertaining. I knew there was going to be some jump scares and some spooks. But this show honestly blew my expectations out of the water.
I honestly really liked it. It took me, I liked it from the get-go. I was just, watching through my fingers oh my gosh, what is happening? But it was definitely by the last few episodes, I was like, I only have one episode left. Are we serious? I was super getting into it. And, but they did jump scares and the gore and horror so well. A lot of the times, I don't know, the Saw movies, it's above and beyond, why? That's not needed. Or some horror movies, it's every second is a jump scare type of thing. This one was so well done. Ouch.
The treats didn't keep him awake long.
This one got cat claws in my butt. This one was so well done that it scared me, but then because I wasn't expecting it every single second.
Yeah.
And then they led up to expecting it and it didn't happen. Yeah. And it was so well done.
Mike Flanagan does a very good job with that.
Yeah. I loved it.
The pacing was really well done, as you had just really good amounts of storytelling compared to jump scares, compared to tie-ins from other stories. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of the show is how often they use direct quotes.
Yes.
He is a poet. What was his name? Roderick. Roderick is a poet, and his poetry is obviously all Edgar Allan Poe quotes.
Yeah.
And I love that every single time. I was that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio going, "Oh yeah,"
yes,
pointing at the screen I know that one.
Same. I loved it. It was so good. I also really, really enjoyed that each episode after the first like initial one setting up the story was like, okay, this is all about this kid and how they die and what their downfall is.
I love how they introduced it by, okay, this is this character's episode by him talking to Augie or August.
Mm-hmm.
What do you go by? Augie?
Mm-hmm.
And we got that jump scare of whatever dead kid it was. Not kid.
Mm-hmm.
Dead child.
Mm-hmm.
Not child. What is?
Yeah, it's his kid. It's his dead kid.
Yeah.
It's like, and it was also kind of fun to be like, ooh, how did they die?
Yeah, because you just see their injury and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So gross. Okay. And why did we pick it?
Well, actually, Crystal, you picked it.
You are our listener pick.
I did.
Yeah.
And why did you pick it?
Well, I hadn't watched it yet, even though I really wanted to. I'm like, okay, well, we could cover this one. I love Poe. I'm obsessed with Poe. I'm obsessed with Mike Flanagan. And, I love being able to, discuss it with people instead of just binge watching it in the middle of the night by myself. And then, oh, wow, I've got no one to talk about this with. I guess I'll just go to sleep now.
Yeah, exactly. I know that was the best part because I was like, I would be watching it and I'd be like, oh, this was so good. Oh, this was so good. And I was like, oh, I get to talk about this.
I'm so glad that at least you know Poe and you know Poe. So you guys will have a conversation. And I'm just going to be sitting here like, wow, that's cool.
That was the best. But did you like this jump scare?
There was one part, God, I don't even remember which jump scare it was. Somewhere towards the end. And I'm sitting on my couch and there's a cat sleeping on my foot. And that jump scare got me so bad that I literally did jump and like yelped a little bit. And that cat freaked out then, which of course made it was a riot.
That's awesome.
That's the best.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we have some fun facts. You guys will be like, yeah. Tell me if you know them all.
I already.
Okay. The lawyer, Arthur Pym, is reference to the only full-length 1838 novel by Edgar Allan Poe. The narrative Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, which Pym travels the oceans and lives through shipwrecks, mutiny, and cannibalism. Clever wordplay was used at one point when Arthur mentioned he'll be having Richard Parker for dinner, directly referencing the character in the story.
Yep.
You guys knew that one?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get you into any of these. These are all for the listeners now. Because every single fun fact on IMDb was all Easter eggs. I'm like, those are fun. Y'all already know them. All right.
Allie's like, I'm going to get them. They're not going to know this.
You know what? That's got to be it. Let's see if you can stump us on one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. I only have 5. So each Usher children has a distinguished color, which can be seen in their clothes and home decor. It is most prominently featured in each of their death scenes. Prospero is red, Camille is white, Napoleon is yellow, Victorine is orange, Tamerlane is green, and Frederick is blue. These hues are reference to the mystique of the Red Death through Flanagan, though Flanagan appears to be following the color scheme of Roger Corman's film adaptations rather than Poe's short stories.
Actually, I did not know that one.
Okay, good.
Did you know that one?
I mean, I noticed that they did have the colors. It didn't really tie into me because I just like, oh, everyone has their favorite color.
Right. While Lenore is scrolling through Netflix menu, she finds to find a movie to watch with her mom, Gerald's Game pops up. Gerald's Game is also directed by Mike Flanagan, featuring several of the cast members.
Yeah, has Roderick and Gerald. I thought it was hilarious.
Like one of my first videos that I make is like this whole story is just what's her name from Gerald's Game getting back at Gerald for tying her up to the bed. Oh gosh. All right. Pam or Verna's New York driver's license is the date is issued / expiration for the 19th of January, which is Edgar Allan Poe's birthday.
I didn't know that or notice it.
I didn't look at the date. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
exactly. I'm not trying to.
I know. Let me get all these. And Bruce Greenwood has been the voice of Batman in a few DC movies. His co-star Mark Hamill and Raoul Kohili have voiced Batman's enemies, the Joker and Scarecrow.
I did know that one.
I didn't. I loved Batman too. I didn't know he was the voice of Batman.
Yeah, how come that? I knew Mark Hamill, but I didn't know the other ones.
Obviously, I knew Mark Hamill.
I was so impressed. Okay, like I know Mark Hamill is an awesome voice actor and everything, but just watching him, I'm like, you're supposed to have like this higher squeaky voice. You're Luke Skywalker. And
No, he's an impressive actor.
He was really good.
Phenomenal. He was really good in this.
Yep. All right, now we're doing comparisons, and I literally have the last 20 minutes of the entire series because that's all the book is. So I don't know how we want to do this.
Maybe let's just talk about the show.
Okay.
Because the show is literally Roderick, Usher.
Do you want me to do the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, maybe actually start from there because then we can be like, this is what
the build
show
up to
was.
it?
Yeah.
All right. So first difference is Ethan Powell changes to Augie something.
Durin?
I don't know, something like that.
Augie D.
Augie D. And
that's hilarious. I have a cousin named August Daniel.
Oh, there you go. So
I have a nephew named August Don.
There you go. Meant to be.
Everyone's Augie D.
Augie D.
Augie D. All right. So he's invited by Roderick. They used to be childhood friends or like previous years ago friends. And he's invited by Roderick to come to the Usher's house. His friend Roderick invited him, and Roderick is sort of like a hypochondriac now. He's like freaking out about things. Ethan's very confused at what's going on. He helps him do this burial sort of thing for his sister, and Roderick wanted to give her a proper ceremony, family Usher burial. And then during the night, something felt really off. Ethan woke up, and Roderick was there in his room freaking out. And here comes his sister all bloody. And she kills and attacks Roderick. And Ethan runs out of the house. And the house falls. Literally the last 20 minutes of the last episode.
Well,
when they say...
Yep.
So when they say the fall of the House of Usher, they don't just mean, the family is losing their power and influence and all their dirty laundry is getting aired out. They really do mean the physical house is falling.
Yes, seriously.
Yep. And basically the show is like, I love when shows or movies take a short story and add story to it to make it make sense. And do it in a way where you're not pissed, like, wow, this is all extra added crap. Like, they shouldn't have done this. Like, this was entertaining to watch. It was entertaining because Roderick is this mogul who finessed his way to be the top dog of a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
And essentially made a deal with the devil. And the devil was like, well, I'm going to, yes, sir. I've been wondering where he was. I was like, oh, he's finally calmed down. I don't know where he's at. He jump scared Allie.
He's clawing me.
And then basically the devil's like, well, at a certain time, I'm going to kill your whole entire family line if you want to get away with this. And he's like, yeah, I do. Right? It's such a dick move.
I know. It's like, because she's like, you'll have many, she worded it like, the devil would. Many happy years and like very happy and life. Like,
you're going to have so much family.
Yes.
Money and wealth. And
yeah. I thought it was so sad when she had to kill off Lenore. I was glad she did it not.
Cried.
Yes. I'm glad she did it not gruesome. I was like, she can't do it gruesome.
I was also glad that she like sat down with her and was like, hey, so you saved your mom, and because of this, your mom's going to go and do this and save millions of people's lives. And I want you to know that's because of you.
Yeah.
But I have to kill you.
It's the deal. Sorry. Go back out of it.
I had been hoping that she was either adopted or mom had an affair and she wasn't actually an Usher. Like I was crossed my fingers and hoping and praying that she was not actually an Usher by blood.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is I didn't even like the whole entire time I'm watching this. I know that all of his family has to die. In my head, I was like, granddaughter's fine and safe until that scene. And then I sat there and I was like, Oh, please. Oh, please. I hope she's not an Usher. I hope this is like her sitting down to be like, guess what? Daddy's not your dad.
You didn't get it at the very beginning of the episode when they heard knocking and he's like, that's Lenore.
Oh, no.
Oh. I was like,
I don't know what I thought.
No. So the whole episode, I was dreading how she was going to die. I was like, no, please let it be kind. I don't want to watch this little girl get her guts ripped out.
Well, what I thought was hilarious was I kind of thought that it was going to be, like you said, mom had an affair with someone. But my brain immediately went to, oh, she did have an actual affair with Perry. And then I was like, oh, she would still be an Usher.
Maybe that is what happened.
I did like how Verna, aka Death, I like how she did at least try to save the wait staff from the party. Yeah. And she did try to save the mother as well. Telling her to leave, and she didn't listen, but she didn't take her soul. She survived.
Yeah.
But then everything that happened to her after was just gruesome.
I know. Gross.
Frederick, whatever his name is.
Yes.
I was so pissed. I was like,
what a freaking psycho.
This is what happens when you do coke.
He deserved to die the way he did.
Oh, I was so glad she was evil with him.
Do people deserve? I don't know, but that was.
Well, okay, so listeners, he basically figured out that his wife was going to his stepbrother's orgy party to cheat on him with his stepbrother.
But she didn't. She never did.
No, she never did, but she still ended up getting completely melted and burned.
Because that's the first, we should go episode by episode. That's the first death was like, they went to this party and like, they hooked up the sprinkler system to have like
acid rain.
Well, they didn't mean it to be acid rain. They wanted it just to be a fun, like getting wet in this orgy party, but it was hooked up to acid. So all these people start melting. And unfortunately, mom was there.
Mm-hmm. Even though she was like, I'm not going to be there. And then she was like, oh, I'm here.
And then, like, yeah. So then fast forward to like he was the last death.
Yeah, he was the very last death. Which was even worse because then it almost dragged that out. So then we just see how cruel he's getting with his wife. I was like, oh.
Because he became psychotic with her because he found out she went to this party. And then eventually he even pulled her teeth out as she's like covered in bandages because she's healing from burns. And then he died by
the pendulum.
Yeah. Slicing his,
which is also one of my favorite poems from Poe. Oh I was so excited, but I was also like, this is about to be fucking gross.
That was every time a death scene came, I was like, okay, I know it's coming. I literally had to be on my phone saved me. I was paying attention and then like distracted at the same time because every jump scare, I was like, okay, I need to prepare myself. And so like I jumped because I heard the bangs or whatever. And then I like looked up at the screen and I was like, oh my gosh.
But what was the second death? Was that Camille? Or whatever her name is, the PR girl?
She was dead.
Yes, hers was second. And she got ate by the chimpanzee.
The monkey. Chimpanzee, you're right.
That was intense, especially like when we took the picture and it flashed and it was the monkey. I wasn't prepared for that.
That scared me.
I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be even worse than we thought.
Because the other sister is doing medical crap on these poor little monkeys.
That made me so sad. I was like, oh, I also, it was a weird situation with the what's her name, Veronica.
Victorine,
you're right. Yeah.
Victorine.
I wanted to be like, yeah, you're trying to do like good in the world, but I was like, wow, but you're also scummy with your experiments, essentially.
So the next one was the black cat.
I was so mad. First off, this dude, hilariously, I was trying to figure out if he really loved his partner because the first episode, he's getting a blowjob from a chick. And then in walks his partner who's like, hi, honey, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I was like,
He's like, oh, you gotta go.
You might be bi, maybe, or something, but you're kind of a dick to your partner. And then his partner had this cute little Pluto. She was
kitty cat.
the cutest little cat ever. And then when he woke up and she was freaking brutally murdered, I was mad. I was like, I don't want to watch this episode.
I know. I was like freaking out. I was like, he killed the guy. He killed the guy. When they showed him in bed, I was like, who did he kill? And then it was a whole secret window situation, but with a cat.
Yeah. I was actually, I think I wanted to stop watching, and then I was like, we're following you. You're who's dying. I can't wait to see how you die.
Oh my gosh. He died crazy. Like that one was a good one because like you thought he was gonna die so many different ways.
Yeah.
And then he ended up running off the balcony.
Oh, that was insane. That was
I definitely thought the cat was gonna maul him to death.
Yeah.
But I guess that death would have been too similar to the chimpanzee death.
Right.
So,
true. That's true. That's actually a good point because I also thought that. Oh, I was mad.
So bad for his partner though.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of that episode too was because so as we are following him, he's getting more and more crazy, and he sees this cat bringing him all these dead animals, and then the cat's hiding in the wall. So he takes this Thor hammer and is just going crazy. But then the last scene of that episode is going to all of the scenes where he had been with the hammer, and the walls are fine. And then you go to the tub where he had put all of the dead trophies from the cat, and there's nothing there. I was like, oh, so you're sitting here like, no wonder your partner thought you were super doped up on drugs, because you're like, oh, this cat's crazy. This is happening and this is happening. And then there's nothing.
And that's how everybody was, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's psycho. The next one was the
Telltale Heart, which was a chimpanzee experimenter girl trying to fix people's hearts. What's funny is the whole episode, she's hearing this and it took me about halfway through the episode for me to like, even I knew it was titled The Telltale Heart. I know the Telltale Heart, but it took until halfway through for me to be like, oh, you're hearing someone's heartbeat right now.
So at the beginning of the episode, or at some point, her and her girlfriend have a fight, and she throws something, and then the scene just cut, and I was like, something happened, and they're not telling us.
What's hilarious is I didn't even think that.
Really?
I was just like, oh, she left and she's not talking to her. Good on her. And then
oh, you're too innocent.
I really am. Especially since she's hearing a heart thunking. For some reason, I thought, once I realized she was looking for the heart, I was like, oh, it's in your chest. You put that thing on your own heart, and then you're going to cut yourself open, and that's how you're going to die.
Oh, my gosh.
And then it was really her partner's heart.
She killed her partner, went psycho, tried to fix her up. So gross.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy to think, too, is that Roderick wanted her to use that on him.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's why he wanted her to start doing the human trials, was to get it for himself, to keep himself alive.
He spends so much time, like he's seeing, all the spirits of his dead children, and he has himself convinced that it is the hallucinations from his medical condition. And that's why he's like, let's get this heart contraption fixed. Like, let's go. I need it. I'm dying.
Yeah.
And about that, yeah.
It really isn't until the final episode where I think maybe the second to last episode, where he really accepts that these are not hallucinations. It's not his medical condition. He is actually seeing these spirits of his dead children.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the point at one point when he's talking to Augie, because he's talking to this lawyer about this, everything that's happening. Because he says, you know what, I'm going to admit to something at the end of my story. And Augie finally goes, how do you know all this? Like, you're not there. Mm-hmm. And he's like, because my kids are telling me right now. Because like, I like when shows or movies tie up a loose end or a like that wouldn't really work, and they make it so it's like, oh, it's explained. Because I would have left, I would have been like, how did he know all that stuff?
Yeah.
And so like they caught that, okay, people are going to question. Let's fix that right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This show left no loose ends.
No. It did very good.
I wrapped everything up.
I am convinced that Mike Flanagan can do any adaptation and I would be happy with it. Because he has done many we've covered him many times now. And each one, I'm okay with how he adapted it. He did it in a way that it did it justice, or it brought more to the story, or it wraps things up nicely. So then we're not sitting here like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have the next episode was Goldbug, which was, what's her name? The crazy
Tamerlane.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm confused. So she just pays women to come and pretend to be her?
Sex with her husband, yeah.
Did they officially have sex, or it was just the flirty part?
No, I'm pretty positive that they have sex.
That was the weirdest thing. I was like, what is happening right now? Why? Why should you do that?
Well,
it's some kind of like power and control king.
Go on.
Also, too, it was either this episode or the one after she's dead, when Roderick is talking to Augie, and he says something like, each of my kids had one of my downfalls, and like he said each one's thing, and like each one's thing was what killed them, and like hers was, he said, she shares my he said it so good, but it was basically like he can't get intimate with someone. Like he's afraid of the intimacy, and that's why he's always just going and sleeping with people and not really having an actual relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of it. I think she wanted someone to be her partner, but I think she didn't want to be with them on an intimate level because she was afraid.
That makes sense.
She was crazy.
She was psycho.
Yeah,
They were all a little. I'm glad that they were all psycho because I didn't feel as bad when they all died.
Yeah, I know. Well, what's funny, they did a really good job too with each kid's storyline, making it just seem like just that one kid was crazy. So then you were feeling bad for all the other kids. But then you would get to the next person and they would go into their story and their personality, and you'd be like, wow, you're also a dick. And Victorine's partner said it best. All you ushers are monsters. Like, when she said that, I was like, oh, you are absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. And then the final one was...
We also haven't been talking about how freaking Roderick is currently married to some random chick that he got hopped up on his ligodone.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't actually love her. He literally was just married to her because she was his miracle.
She proved that his medicine worked.
Honestly, I loved her storyline and her character arc so much. Like, when we first meet her, we assume that she's just kind of a druggie and a gold digger.
Yes.
Who's there with this, old dude for his money and free and easy access to the ligodone because she's clearly extremely addicted to it, that she's on such high levels. Fortunately, it seems to be working for her. Doesn't kill her. Doesn't make her go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But as the show goes on, we find out she actually really does care about the ushers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She cares about those kids, even though they are awful to her.
Uh-huh.
She does truly love Roderick. She wasn't there for the money and the drugs.
No.
She thought that he believed in her and that he valued her. And really all he valued was her ability to be proof that ligodone was safe and worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sad.
I know the episode, Tamerlane's episode when she's like, keeps looking out in the audience and is like, why are you here? And then Juno's the one who's like, I'm here because I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
right? So sweet.
I know. You love these kids like they're your own and they don't even.
When she chucks whatever she threw at her.
Yeah.
The box. When she threw at her. Knocked her out. I thought she was going to kill her.
It was
there.
the microphone, I think, right?
Oh,
I thought she
yeah.
was going to be dead. I thought that was going to kill her.
I mean, we just watched Victorine's
like 5
partner.
other deaths. Yes. Oh. And then we had the pit and the pendulum we talked about. And then the Raven was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our story comes in.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is like, the book is really only the last 20 minutes, but it's also not, because like in the book, Ethan and Roderick are talking about everything for a long period of time. And essentially this TV show, they're having the conversation the whole time. Right. It's just that the meat of the story of the short story is that last episode.
Right. Yeah.
So which of the death/stories was your favorite?
Ooh, like enjoyed to watch, or like just, let's see. I'm like the one that freaked me out the most, I think, that I was like, oh my gosh, was the heart one.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just with how psychotic she got. And then at the end when it opened up, the door opened. Because right when Roderick starts walking towards the door, I'm like, oh, it's our girlfriend. And like it opens up and it's like not just her girlfriend. It's like nasty against the wall. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I think that one was like me the most.
I think for me it was the pit and the pendulum.
You like that story. That's why. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the pit and the pendulum story.
A good revenge story too.
Yeah. So I liked that one.
What about you?
So out of the short stories that accompany these episodes, my favorite is Mask of the Red Death.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest twist that I liked in regards to the deaths was the Cask of Amontillado, which was the death of his boss in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we didn't even talk about that.
We didn't, because it wasn't technically, one of the main deaths of the show, but it is still a Poe story. And I knew it was going to come in at some point when we saw the wall a couple of times and we heard the jingling. I kind of thought maybe Roderick's first wife was in there.
I did too, actually. I thought it was going to be Annabelle Lee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, until they were going after the boss, and they bought him a bottle of wine, and he called it Amontillado, and I'm like, you're still gonna deserve getting locked up behind that brick wall. And then they kept playing the song "Another Brick in the Wall," which was cracking me up. I mean, a little on the nose, but I was loving it.
It was the best. I actually really loved that. I also because there's a whole backstory with this show where Roderick is basically working for this shit company, and August is trying to get the shit company ixnayed, basically. And at first Roderick is like, yeah, August, I'll help you. But then he flips and is like, nope. I'm
during the
trial. Yeah, that part pissed me off. I was like, oh, dude, you were going to do so good. But then when they started breaking in the guy, I was like, I hope that August is realizing, like, okay, you did this to help yourself, like to make sure that you were set for life. But you also did the right thing by killing the dude.
The right thing. The lawyer.
It was always the right thing to brick somebody up behind a wall, for sure. Always.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I actually did like that one. That one wasn't gruesome. It was just like
it was satisfying. It was probably the least gruesome, with the exception of Lenore, but it was like the least gruesome death.
Yeah,
of the show. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That's the only death that's really caused by the Roderick and Madeline. So that wasn't even really death.
Unless you count just because they said yes.
That's true.
Then all of them
were. True.
But yes, it was the only one they actually.
The one that he is probably why knowingly and consciously responsible for.
Yeah, which is probably why it wasn't as gruesome.
Yeah, probably. I know. I liked that when Death had to kill Lenore. She was like, you know what? There's lots of parts of my job I like. And then when she was laying down with Frederick.
Yeah.
But she's laying down with him. She's like, I could have done this anyway. You know, it would have been really easy to just have you overdose or have a heart attack. But she's like, this is so much more satisfying since you took her teeth out. And she's just laying there. And I was like, so awesome.
Verna, aka Death, has such a strong sense of justice and vengeance in this show that added like so much dimension that I really liked to her character. She was the best part of the show.
She was so fun to watch. And I loved how well she changed to different characters. She was an older like lady. She was like the hip bartender. She was, you know, the wait staff. She was
someone going for a heart surgery who was like meek and like, oh yeah, I don't know if I can.
She did very good. That must have been so fun.
So many different characters in this show. I kind of want to go back and count all the different characters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all Verna. They're all her. But she has different personalities. She looks different. She speaks different. Some of them have accents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she deserved an award for this.
Yes.
I agree.
That must have been so
fun. Get that woman an Emmy right now.
When I did finish this series, I was like, I would go back. You know, there's certain series that like you either get halfway through or all the way through and you find out crucial information. You're like, oh, I want to go back and rewatch that now that I know this information. Now you guys probably knew from the beginning, but I was like, what? And it's one that I probably come October will go back and rewatch. I love scary stuff in October. Oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah. Let's do the rest of our podcast.
All right.
I mean, I guess, is there anything else that you would like to talk about the show before we wrap up?
You know, I have one Mike Flanagan question for you guys. Okay. Since we all seem to be a fan, what is your favorite Mike Flanagan project?
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Actually, for me, it's Haunting on Hill House. The first of the haunting TV shows. Because I was kind of disappointed in Bly Manor, but I don't know how much of that was, you know. I think part of it was the fact that it was the same cast, just in a different story. Because then I was kind of like, okay, I'm seeing you guys as these characters instead of this. So I kept wanting it to tie into the previous one, but it wasn't.
Okay, I have to look up because I actually don't think I've seen a lot, just what we've done. So I know I've seen Dr. Sleep and...
I'm so excited for The Life of Chuck.
We did Usher, and then I saw the Gerald's Game. Didn't like that one very much.
But I think that's just because of the story.
Right, that was the story, not he did a very good job. I think I really like Dr. Sleep from what I've seen. So
Haunting of Hill House was my first Mike Flanagan project. And I did really like it. Then I started going back and watching some of his other stuff. And I only recently watched Haunting of Bly Manor, like literally just a few months ago. So I know the show's been out for a couple years and I've seen stuff that he's done since then. I just hadn't gotten to that one yet. And I'd have to say Bly Manor was my favorite. I cried so much. I cried so many times in that show. It was a perfect blend of jump scares and heart-wrenching sadness and pain. And honestly, in the end, that one really was not a horror. It was a gothic romance. And it was beautiful. I loved it by the time I got to the end. Like the first episode or two, I was not really sure what direction it was going. And the first couple episodes felt a lot more horror-like. But by the time you really get into it, it is very clear that this is a love story, a tragic love story. And that one is my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like if I had done it like you and gave it time, I would have liked it more. But I literally, like, the minute it came out, because I loved Haunting on Hill House, I was like, I am watching this right now. And then I was like, oh, this is not like the last one.
And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it, is because they were expecting it to be in the same universe or something, but it was a little bit more of like an anthology. Like, yes, he is reusing his actors and has continued to in so many projects. But I think in order for this one, for Bly Manor to be appreciated fully as it should have been, some of these other projects needed to go in between.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that would have been much better.
People were expecting it to be just like Hill House. The expectations were not in the right place.
It felt more like a sequel because that was literally like his next thing that came out. And so I was like, duh, here it is. And like, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like when they were promoting it, they did try to be like, this is going to be like American Horror Story, where yes, it's the same actors, but it's a whole different story. But then I was still stuck on like, okay, but American Horror Story always has like that horror story that's like driving it or something. And good God, Haunting on Hill House scared the shit out of me, and it's hard to scare me. So,
oh no,
yeah,
oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Well, awesome.
I'd say out of all of his projects, Bly Manor is the one that made me cry the most.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like every character had some kind of fucking tragic backstory that just absolutely cut your heart open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Allie's like, it's got that haunting in it. I don't know if I want to.
Right. I'm like, we'll see.
Have you not watched that one yet?
I haven't seen it. No, the only ones I've seen are Gerald's Game, Usher, and Dr. Sleep.
Okay, you need to put that one on your list.
Okay, it's on my list.
Got to. I mean, yes, there are still the jump scares, but it is less scary and less gory. There's not much gore at all.
No,
it's not very gory, especially like Usher was. So I think you'll do better.
Do it. Okay.
I think so. I think that's that's the one to go with.
Okay, I'll try it. Okay, are we ready to do some cast?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 99 people have been cast for this show. We have Carla Gugino, played Verna or Death.
Loved her
so much.
It was great.
She's so perfect.
Like other than Gerald's Game, I don't think seen her in anything except
Spy Kids.
Spy Kids. She was like, I grew up with her, Spy Kids mama. And then we saw Gerald's Game. I was like, oh no. And then we saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, she's not the innocent Spy Kids mama.
She's in Bly Manor too. And Hill House. She's in both of those.
Right. Okay. Then we have Bruce Greenwood, played Roderick Usher.
What's hilarious is because he plays Gerald, I've always had an issue with him. This show made me like him.
I loved him.
He was so good in this role.
I really liked him with the mustache too.
Yeah.
Versus
Gerald. The mustache was perfect. That was a great mustache.
Yeah, it was.
And I really loved him reciting all of Poe's lines.
Yes.
You know, he's got the voice for the Gothic poetry. Like I could listen to him narrate some of Poe's
that would have been
that
cool.
would be great.
I know. That would have been amazing. Yeah. I thought he was amazing.
We had Mary McDonald played Madeline Usher, sister, which we didn't talk about a lot.
No, we didn't.
We didn't even talk about how she died in the end.
Oh, duh.
Oh my gosh. So at one point in like a flashback scene, they talked about how she was like Cleopatra and everything like this.
Oh yeah, Death kept calling her when she kept calling her Cleopatra because she knew how she was gonna die.
Oh yeah, because Death knows.
Yeah. Duh.
And so then how she died was Roderick put like
he tried to mummify her.
Sapphires in her eyes.
Because that's what the Egyptians did when they were mummifying.
Oh my gosh. Queens. And then so she wasn't officially dead yet. And so she wakes up and like can't see him, but she finds him and strangles him. Oh, it was so gross.
The craziest part about Madeline is that so she has this whole time that we see her in her adult self, she has this very flawless straight hair with these straight bangs across. Okay. Then when she goes to meet Verna in kind of she takes off this wig to reveal her gorgeous natural hair that is the exact same color and length as her wig. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. I was so confused.
I was like, wow, you just want to have bangs?
Right. I was so confused because her hair, her like normal hair matched her like young self.
Previous self, yeah.
So is she just trying to, I don't know.
What's hilarious, it took me 3 or 4 episodes to realize that she was the sister. I kept thinking she was the Annabelle Lee.
Yes, I did too.
Yes. And then
their relationship was kind of, I mean, it would not have surprised me if they crossed that line in the show because sometimes their relationship seemed a little too together.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, their relationship was very incestuous. I really thought there was a part of me in the flashback that thought, oh shit, she's been dead and she's a ghost. But
where'd that come from?
Because there was a scene with Roderick and Annabelle Lee where Madeline was there and Madeline was very clearly talking to Roderick, but it did not seem like Annabelle was even paying any attention.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I was like, oh shit, she's a ghost. And then she was not a ghost.
She was very much not.
Okay. When the sister was making out with the evil boss, for a split second, I thought it was her brother. And I was like, not even surprised. I was like, really, guys? Like, come on. Oh, wait, that's the boss.
Yep.
I thought for a moment that, like, the big secret was that they hooked up on New Year's Eve. I'm like, oh, no. They're just going to kill a guy. Okay.
Yep. I was like, no wonder they want to kill that.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. All right. So then we got Henry Thomas played Frederick.
I love seeing him in all of these because his portrayal of the dad in The Haunting of Hill House was one of my favorites, and he was such a like meek character in that seeing him in all of these other roles, I'm always like, oh, you're good. I like you.
He was so creepy. His eyes were like so dark and barely had any whites. I'm like, you look like the devil.
Honestly, I think in the end, out of everyone, he might have been like the most evil.
I think so.
The others, a lot of the others, they were just crazy.
Yeah.
They were crazy. They were selfish. They were narcissistic, but he was straight up. Like, what kind of human being, consciously, knowingly, like he wasn't under any control when he ripped all of her teeth out one by one. That was all. Everyone else, when they did crazy shit, they were literally out of their minds.
Right. Drugs, crazy. Yeah. Him, the second he said, I'm going to take her home and build her a hospital room in the house, I was like, oh
no, what's he going to do? Yeah.
I was like, this is bad.
Yep. So then we have Kate Siegel played Camille.
This is his wife.
Okay.
Yeah. I love her. I think she's such a good actress.
She was great.
She was good. Mm-hmm. I liked her like white blonde hair.
Yeah, it looked really good on her.
She's good. Then we got Raoul Cooley played Leo.
I love him. I love him. Watch iZombie.
No. I have seen it. That's where I've seen him from.
Yes. It was a CW show, the first season. And he plays a morgue doctor he's a morgue doctor and his co-doctor is a zombie. And it's such a good watch. You have to watch it.
Yeah. She like turned into a zombie and she doesn't really want to be a zombie, but she needs to eat. And so she eats these brains and then she gets the memories. And so she's like a detective.
Murder.
So they solve murders because she gets to see who murdered these people because she has their memories. It's a very cute show. Like it doesn't sound cute when I say it, but it's cute.
The younger version of Augie is also in that show. He plays the cop that they solve murders with.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I gotta go back and rewatch that show. It's been years.
That's a good one.
I haven't seen him in anything else, and I was like, oh, I like you. I think you're a good actor.
Yeah, he was good. Then we have Samantha Sloyan played Tamerlane. Psycho. What have I seen her from?
Grey's Anatomy. And because of that, I hate her. She's the Penelope who Derek gets with.
Oh.
In between, like, marrying Meredith or whatever. Yeah. I don't like her.
I don't like that, like, she tweezes her eyebrows so much that she has, like, none. I was like, what the heck?
Well, I think that was probably for this role.
I know, because her IMDb picture is normal, but she just, I don't know, she's just psycho.
But I do think she plays the roles well, because if she plays it in a way where I hate her because of it, I guess you're doing your job.
Exactly.
I guess
right?
I can't hate you too much.
Another actor or actress from the show was on Grey's Anatomy too.
Oh,
which one?
Mary McDonald, who played the older version of Madeline. She was a doctor for
the heart doctor with Yang.
Oh,
I know her because she plays the mom in Donnie Darko, and I fucking love Donnie Darko so much. So, like, seeing her in this role made me really sad, because I was like, "You're Donnie's mom. Why are you being the psycho?"
Well, we got.
Yeah, she's also the president in Battlestar Galactica. And let me tell you, so I've seen things that this woman has done for 20 years now, and she is aging in reverse.
I feel like she is. She was great looking in this.
So young. She looked so young in this show. I'm like, she's got to be up there. Like, she's got to be like 60 or 70 years old.
Uh-huh. It was her wig bangs.
Oh my gosh. All right, then we have Tania Miller played Victorine.
I was trying to figure out where I've seen her.
I don't know.
You can blind me.
Thank you.
I mean, I've seen her too. She did really good. We have Zach Gilford played young Roderick.
I loved him. I thought he did really good.
I thought so too. I don't think he matched Bruce very good.
Not very well, but I think their personalities matched.
Yeah,
they did good with that. But looks wise, no, I agree.
I couldn't see it.
He should have had a mustache.
That might have helped, actually. And Willa Fitzgerald played young Madeline. I think they look the same.
Yeah, they could have matched. Really good with yeah.
Especially once the older Madeline took off her wig and they had the hairstyle. Yeah.
Yes. Michael
Trucco
played Rufus the boss.
He, like you said, I do think he looked a lot like young Roderick, so I kept getting them confused if they weren't in the scene together. But apart from that, I think he did good.
We have Katie Parker played Annabelle Lee.
She was great.
Her. I liked her a lot.
I felt so bad for her.
I wish I knew what happened to her. Did they tell us? And I missed it.
Yeah, she was at the funeral. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought she was
died.
Convinced that he murdered her.
I was too. I actually was too.
Yeah, she was there. He murdered her.
I thought she was too. Didn't she have, like something stabbed out of her or something?
No.
Oh.
No, she does point out that once he got rich and he got control over the company, obviously they got divorced at some point, and he took the kids and he got sole custody of the kids. So she she didn't have the money and power to fight back. So she has been without her children all these years. And the first time she reunited with them is at their funeral.
It's so sad. Okay, we got.
Oh, have fun with that.
Okay. Sarian Sapkuta played Perry Usher. He was like the first one that died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really set the tone of the show with his death.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
I was not. That was the one that shocked me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, why are they all screaming in water? And I was like, oh no, it's not water.
That's what I thought too at first. I was like, what's going on? So I'm missing something. And then I like watched closer and I was like, oh.
Yep. We got Ruth Codd played Juno.
Again, I loved her in that.
She did good.
Mm-hmm.
I love her little accent.
Yeah.
Scottish or Irish, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Kaylee Curran played Lenore.
think that's Kylie.
Kylie. Yep, that's Kylie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was so good, and I'm glad she did not get killed brutally.
Yes.
Brutally. Yeah, her death. And it really goes to show that, like, she could have killed these people. Like, she could have just gone and, like, oh, you're all dead. Like, here you go in your sleep. And she does say that at one point. Like, I could do it in your sleep. It doesn't have to be like this, but you made it like this.
Yeah.
And she made everyone's death kind of correlate with their just awful, horrific behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it. We have Carl Lumbly, played Augustine Dupin.
That's what it was.
Augie D.
Augie D. He did so good, except for because of Dr. Sleep, I just see him as Dick.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Dick.
Now we see him as Marcus Dixon in Alias.
Oh,
yeah.
That was one of my
show.
Oh, we have to do him.
Gotta do Mark Hamill. Arthur Pym.
Loved him.
He was great in it. One scene I really loved that involves Arthur Pym was Verna makes him an author, an offer.
He refuses.
He flat out tells them, like, you're about to go to jail because they turned in all this evidence they collected on you, but I can make it go away, and I can give you, a few years of peace and richness and everything. And he does not take the deal.
I fucking love that.
He's also, like, not a good person.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at the difference between the Ushers and you.
Yeah. Really good.
He really, I think he looked at what was happening to the Ushers, and it wasn't out of fear or self-preservation. It was him actually coming to terms that he needs to pay the consequences for his actions, because he doesn't even fight in courts. He doesn't, he
walks up. He's like, yep, okay, let's go. Okay, yep, this is it.
Yep.
Plus, I just love seeing Luke Skywalker in anything.
I know.
First episode, I saw his face. I was like, Luke. I bet.
All right. Okay, so is the book of is the theme of the book and the movie the same?
Yeah.
Yes, the themes are right on point. Yes. Absolutely.
Do the characters stay true? I mean, there were 3 characters. Well, I mean, all of them.
I mean, to how I would envision Edgar Allan Poe writing about them, yes. But the fact that they're not in the book, no.
Right. But they're
all named after other characters in other stories. But their personalities don't necessarily line up with the other personalities of the stories.
Yep.
But I think because of how much, there is a lot from the stories that is pulled in. There's so much. So I'm still going to say yes, even though technically it's a no.
Okay. Okay. Fair. And what do you prefer? Show or short story?
I actually think I have to go with the show, just because I loved all the Easter eggs of all of his other works within the show.
I think that is a very unfair question, and how dare you? As a follow-up, I'd say that it was done extremely well. And, it wasn't just The Fall of the House of Usher. It is all of his stories, which I wasn't expecting going into it. And, I figured that out pretty quickly on when we started off with Mask of the Red Death, one of my favorites. And so I was just very, very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
I also go show. It made me want to read, now that I know all his Easter eggs are in that. Because Easter eggs are my favorite thing. Like, that's my favorite thing about movies. And so it made me want to go read a bunch of his other work, so I can.
That's impressive. She is not the bookworm of the podcast. It's me. So her saying she wants to go read Edgar Allan Poe.
I love Easter eggs, and I hate that I don't. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Like, when Wish came out, the Disney movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it had 100 years worth of Disney Easter eggs in it. Like, I just sat there and I was like, there's one. And so I love to be able to do that. So I want to go do that.
I love it.
An adaptation is good when it encourages people to read the original material.
Yes.
That's actually true. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Would you recommend it to a friend? 100%.
Yeah.
I actually would.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I already have, actually.
Yeah, good.
I think all my friends have already watched it, but
Yeah.
maybe I should tell them to go read it.
Do it again. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Do you want to promote Must Love Books?
Yeah. So, as we mentioned in the beginning of the episode, I am the host of Must Love Books podcast, where I feature authors that are indie authors, debut authors, and even some of our favorite best-selling authors. And we are also the home of the Something Smutty Book Club if you're looking for something a little spicier and with a lot of laughs, because for our book club, we drink quite a bit of wine.
Heck yeah.
Before we even start recording. So it's just a riot. We also occasionally do game nights with the Something Smutty Book Club. Yeah, we did sometimes it's something like just Never Have I Ever. And we've done a couple episodes of that so far, which has been really fun. But we also try out some other games, like we did Romance versus the World, which is essentially the rules of Cards Against Humanity, but with romance novel tropes and genre.
Oh, that's amazing.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. So yeah, you can check out the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And outside of Must Love Books podcast, I'm also the organizer for the Book Podcast Connection.
Yes.
We love
Big shout out there. We now have over 100 book related podcasts.
Wow.
Group.
Yeah, I love that group. It's such a good group.
That's exciting.
I feel so much support from the group. So
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that's always posting on there. She lets me know. She screenshots. She's like, okay, we got to make a TikTok video or a real video. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, our networking group has really become like a little podcasting family, and we do collabs together, and we're planning for International Podcast Day, September 30th. We're going to be doing some virtual events, special episodes, maybe a few Instagram lives. So if you want to join us there, you can find Book Podcast Connection on Instagram, and there is a website. It's just not really up yet. I mean, it exists, bookpodcastconnection.com. It's just the logo on the page so far. There's nothing else there.
I love it.
But eventually we'll have a directory of all 100 plus podcasts on there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's so exciting. Well, cool.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been a blast.
Yes. It's been so fun.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I finally sat down and watched the show because I'd been meaning to for so long. Mm-hmm. And I literally waited until 3 days before we were recording to actually sit down and watch it. But I got through it in 2 days and been just dying to talk about it. So this was a lot of fun.
Good. Yay. Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. With all of this exciting news of collabing and Must Love Books and everything, we have more exciting news. We are going to be at the Kent Nerd Party in 3 days. We'll be there, right? No, a week in 3 days, 10 days.
Thank you. Yes.
10 days. I'm
like,
holy shit.
I was too. I was like,
all right. We also have a website, offscript253.wixsite.com/offscript. You can rate, subscribe, review us there.
And I also realized that we never promote that you can sign up for our newsletter there too.
Yes, you can.
I realized that when I was making the newsletter this month. I was like, fuck, we never promote that.
Yeah. Guys, I just want to really apologize this season. I really have dropped the ball because I'm supposed to be the one doing all the Facebook posts and everything like that. And it started, I was really good. And then we had our break. Mm-hmm. And freaking Meta, I'm not even going to be ashamed to call them out and be mad at them. Meta will not delete unless I have to go on the computer, but I do everything on my phone. It won't delete anything. So I would just have to keep changing the date, or I'd have to wait till it's posted and then go into our socials and delete it. So I've been hesitant to plan and post things in case, life happens and we're like, oh shoot, we can't, release that day. We don't know what we're doing. And because of that, I've gotten so freaking far behind, and I have not been very good at posting. Luckily, my life is calming down, and I'm like going to find a time to just sit, and we kind of sort of have a game plan for posting and releasing. So I'm going to get all that updated. I also, with our website, always try and post our like a blog. So like with this one, I'll post, we did a collab today. Go check out Must Love Books and everything like that. Been really bad at that. I'm so far behind on our reaction TikToks, but that's my summer goal because I still want to do the like huge hour-long one for magicians that I have to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I just want to apologize and just know that I'm gonna get
this season has been so hard and so rough. And while we love you guys and want to do your guys' picks, it makes it hard for us.
We're excited, but like Bri was saying, she likes to like make a story with how she schedules things, and we didn't even know most of the plots for the stories that you guys chose. And so it's been an interesting ride. And then with all of our life updates, like moving and
new
vacations, new pets, new like running fundraisers, like we just need to breathe.
But I do think that this season taught us that we can.
Yes, we can power through.
And we can take breaks and we can do things like,
because it's our podcast and we do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's gonna hop on you soon. All right, let's finish this.
All right. And so then Monday. We decided.
Yeah, Monday we've got
Hunt for Red October.
No. Oh,
is this coming out Wednesday?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. No mini-sode. Yes. This is your mini-sode. It's coming out Wednesday. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It was super fun having Must Love Books on the podcast.
Agreed.
And we'll see you next time, everyone.
All right, we'll see you. And with that,
The Fall of the House of Usher
went off script. Oh, I guess I didn't let you say goodbye.
You can say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Ashen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast.
See you next time.